political background to Nehemiah. So the kingdom of Judah had been taken over by Babylon. That was important to mention. And the Babylonians had destroyed the walls of the city and the temple in Jerusalem. So if you say the Babylonians had destroyed the walls of the city, or you say the Babylonians had destroyed the temple, it's still okay. Or had destroyed Jerusalem, it's still okay. So that is on the background of Nehemiah. Point number 3 is that the king and also the royal court officials were deported, or they were exiled to Babylon. So the king, the royal court officials, and the able people, all those people who were able, were exiled to Babylon. Or you can say they were deported to Babylon. So after they were deported to Babylon, Persia conquered Babylon. And the Jews came under the control of the Persians. Because now, remember now, the Jews who had been exiled to Babylon were already there when Persia was conquering Babylon. So that's why we are saying that they were under the control of the Persians. So the Persian kings ruled the subjects through governors, and they conquered people of Babylon, including the Jews. And therefore, the people of Babylon, including the Jews, were to pay tribute to Persia. They were to pay taxes to Persia. So the Persian king, who was Cyrus at the time, allowed the Jews to return to Judah in 3 stages. And Nehemiah led the third group of Jews back to Judah. That's the background, how it goes. So it involves the kingdom of Judah being taken over by Babylon, and then Babylon being taken over by Persia. And now the Persian king of that time, that is Cyrus, allowing the Jews to return to Judah in 3 stages. That is where Nehemiah came in, by leading the third group of the Jews back to Judah. And now when you're talking about the background, that's when people were talking about King Artaxerxes, which I like because that is what you're supposed to talk about. So where you wrote the notes about the political background of Nehemiah, can you read it? Because that's what you're supposed to write. This was still the background, but that was inclusive, where you are supposed to mention about Artaxerxes, because that was his political background. It began from what you're talking about, but also it continued to what you wrote. You can read. I can't hear. The Israelites?
The Israelites lived for 70 years. During this period, most of them were poor and oppressed. The Israel lasted from 587 BC to 538 BC, when Babylon was conquered by Persia. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and allowed the Israelites to return to Judah and rebuild the temple of Jerusalem. He gave the people good governance. The first people of Israel left Babylon in 538 BC, led by Joshua, the high priest, and Zerubbabel, who became the first governor of Judah. The second group left during the reign of King Artaxerxes the first, led by Ezra in 458 BC. The third group left in 457 BC, led by Nehemiah. This group returned to rebuild the city walls and returned during the reign of King Artaxerxes the first. Even after rebuilding the wall of Israel, the Israelites remained subject to the Persian kings.
Yes, so what we've talked about, that is what you're supposed to talk about, the background of Nehemiah. So that you talk, and you don't talk about the other two groups that went back to Judah. You're supposed to talk about Nehemiah. He led the third groups, and then you mention the king of Artaxerxes and how they were supposed to still pay tribute to what? To Persia. The Persian king of the time, that is Cyrus. That is the background of Nehemiah. Question 5c. Kairodhi, you can read 5c. That this was a very easy question. What is the importance of prayer in a life of a Christian? What are the benefits of prayer? So number one, prayer is a way of communicating with God, or you can say prayer is a way of fellowshipping with God. The way of fellowshipping with God. Through prayer, Christian faith in God is strengthened. So through prayer, the faith of a Christian is strengthened. Christians have an opportunity to confess and seek forgiveness through prayer. So through prayer, Christians have an opportunity to confess and seek forgiveness from God. Through prayer, Christians thank God for blessings received. So they thank God for blessings received. Christians also ask for their needs through prayer, or they petition God for their needs through prayer. Christians, or you can say, they use prayer to intercede for others. To intercede is to show concern for others. So you're praying for other people. So they use prayer to intercede for others. Prayers are made in obedience to the teachings of Jesus. So another importance of prayer is that they show the obedience to the teachings of Jesus, because they are made in obedience to the teachings of Jesus or to the teachings of the Bible. That means that prayers are important because they show obedience to the teachings of Jesus or to the teachings of the Bible. It is a way of emulating the example set by Jesus. That he also prayed. He taught the disciples how to pray. So it is a way of emulating the example set by Jesus. Christians praise God through prayer, or you can say Christians adore God through prayer. Prayer promotes unity among believers. That's another important.